the RTL Football Podcast, now live on Twitch and on YouTube at 8 p.m. UK time on Thursdays.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hey guys, welcome back to the RTL Football Podcast. Today we've got Crazy Boom and Tyler with us. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah. What about you, Boom? How are you?
I'm always good.
Yeah, we've got two lives today. We've got the England versus USA game later. The watch-along's done really well last week. So thanks for everyone who came in chat and supported Boom and Chris. So we've got another one tonight. But first, we've got this week's podcast. And so let's get into it. We're going to go straight in with reviewing some of the games of the World Cup. So, Crazy Boom, did you want to get us started?
The first one, Ecuador, Qatar. It's very simple. Me and Chris talked about this in the thing. And the first watch along with England versus Iran. Qatar couldn't really do anything. It was I don't think Ecuador really tried, and still won 2-0 in that game.
Yeah, I think that's the first. I think I read somewhere that was.
It is the first host that has not gotten a point.
not won. Yeah, not won the first game. Yeah, as a host,
or at least has not gotten a point, because there's been a few draws in opening games before.
Yeah. So do you have anything to add on that, Spencer?
I mean, just like Boom said, Ecuador didn't really have to try. I think I could have beaten Qatar with my own.
Yeah, they weren't very good. So the host losing the first game. Then we had England versus Iran. England stuffing Iran 6-2 with 15 minutes added time in the first half and another 10 in the second half. Obviously, there was an injury to their goalkeeper and he refused to come off the first half. Some great goals. Great goal by Bellingham. Good start from England. Going into tonight's
arguably
game.
A brilliant Harry Maguire performance, which I was surprised at the time.
Yeah, everyone's saying that
Miracle.
he was intended for man of the match. It's like, well,
I mean, he got an assist and almost got multiple in that game.
Yeah. Maybe Southgate's a genius after all.
And
We'll
Iran,
see. Give it a few weeks.
Iran striker was really good to get the first goal. It was a really good striker. The penalty for the second, questionable, but it was a good penalty that he took.
Yeah.
Considering me and Chris in the watch along, though we don't like England, we said they should have had a penalty in that first half. England for the rugby tackle.
Yeah, definitely. And good start. But obviously then Iran's had their second game today, which they
won. Iran showed the Iran that I thought we were going to get in that England watch along. I thought it was going to be tighter than that.
Yeah.
But obviously they were not ready for the first game, Iran, and now they've kind of, after losing the game by that much, they have to be ready for this one.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be a tight group. Obviously, tonight's game is important. I think if we win, USA are in the mud.
We win, we're through. Yeah.
So, yes, it's going to be interesting. It should be a good game. Next, we had Senegal 0, Netherlands 2. Netherlands getting the win as expected in this game. Not really surprised.
The scoreline's not surprising, but the game was an absolute boring. I fell asleep. I almost didn't wake up for the watch along in the afternoon when for me and Chris, USA versus Wales, because this bored me to sleep.
Yeah.
This was. Yeah, I said it in the chat that this was a 0-0 that somehow ended 2.
Yeah, I had to commentate on this game. I had to commentate on this game, and trying to make the first 60, 70 minutes exciting was definitely a challenge. But Holland did what fucking Netherlands do and what big teams do. They just somehow get the win out of nowhere, result we expected, but not quite the performance. Hopefully they'll pick it up later on in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't got much to add on that. And the next game is USA 1, Wales 1. You did the watch along for this game, obviously, Boom. And interesting one.
USA were really impressive in the first half. They came out way more than I thought they would. They were fast one-touch football in that first half, which eventually led to their goal. They should have had another one with Josh Sargent before the first goal actually hit the side netting from a chance and stuff. But they were really good, went in 1-0, and we said at the halftime, because we did the podcast on the future of the American national team, because Gormy told us that the USA don't manage games well, so that became the question in the second half.
Yeah.
Do they try and manage and sit back with this 1-0, or do they do what we thought they should and go for a second? But they decided to try and keep that 1-0 and eventually allowed Wales more and more into the game, where Wales started getting more confident as the game went on in that second half. And more shots. They changed it up, going with Kiefer Moore up top, and he almost scored from a header and stuff, and a defender as well before that. And then it came to a penalty that they gave away at the very end, a very stupid defending from the USA and lack of concentration, and Gareth Bale scores his penalty.
Yeah, definitely. I think. Who do you guys think out of? I think England will go through. So who do you think? Iran, USA, or Iran or Wales? Who do you think will?
I think after the result today, I don't think Wales have a chance.
Yeah.
Wales on, unfortunately.
And
because they have to rely on Danny Ward now against England in their final game of the group.
Yeah, I think if USA lose tonight, though, I think they're out as well. So I think it could be Iran.
USA Iran are the favorites at the moment because of the thing, but USA would still have a chance of the goals if they pump Iran, which is questionable if they do it, but they would still have a chance.
Hub in chat. Hi guys, we are live on Twitch, so you can catch us. We are normally live Thursday, but because of commitments from the team, we are live today twice for the watch along and today for the pod. So FM Hub, welcome in. Next, we have a game that I was very happy with the result for, and that was Argentina 1, Saudi Arabia 2. We were blasting them on the podcast last week, saying they weren't going to win any games. I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a laugh. I'm going to put £5 on Argentina to lose to Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia won, and I won 130 quid. Look at that.
Nice.
So that was fun. Enjoyed that. What's your thoughts on the game? Great win for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, good game. Another one that I was commentating on, and it was a game of two halves really. Argentina all over them in the first half, but Argentina just unlucky to have like 2 goals. I think it was offside. If they just timed it a little bit better, they would have been out of sight in the first half. But then Saudi Arabia changed it up from one man up front to one in the second half. That first 10-15 minutes of the second half, Saudi Arabia was unplayable. Saudi Arabia were just unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that this is one of 2 shocks of the tournament so far. And what a result. Do you think they can go through?
Saudi Arabia, possibly. They've beaten Argentina, so they line up with 2 up for the next 2 games. Then I can't see the reason why not.
They play Poland tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be a massive upset if they did with that group. It was like, if you look at that group, it'd be odds on who goes through, but I don't think it will be. And next we had France versus Australia, and it's 4-1 win for the France. A very injured-prone France team. They've lost 2 strikers and now their left back as well. So I think they're going to have trouble later in this tournament.
They played like they were injury-struck for the first bit of that game, which led to Australia's shock opener against it, where they went 1-0 up. But then they turned it on and became France. Olivier Giroud got a few of his only maximum about 4 goals a tournament.
Yep. And I think they'll be there or thereabouts. But I can't see them winning it with the injury crisis they've got. Obviously, they've got their left backs now out. And apparently there's rumours they're going to play Camavinga at left back. That's what they're saying.
That'd be interesting.
So
That'd be
that
an interesting
will
decision.
be strange. Have they got a backup left back in that squad? Really?
No, I don't think they do, to be honest. I said they might have no choice.
Yeah, I think that's an issue for them, and I think they will struggle going in later into the tournament. And
Yeah,
next week,
hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. And next we had another upset. I love the Germans when they lose. As an Englishman, I can't think of anything better than Germany losing, and that's Germany 1, Japan 2.
Schadenfreude. They love it. Absolutely love it. Japan again played well because they actually had a go at Germany. They weren't scared. They didn't really sit back. They go at them. They fucking ran at them, and they deserved to win. To be honest, I think. I think they played well. They could be another surprising one. Maybe get through their group.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Chris was bigging them up beforehand. He said they were a decent team.
Yeah, the favorite part of all of it though was the amount of commentators who couldn't was trying to pronounce their team name.
Yeah,
and
Kim. I
think that whole back line's all got the same name.
It's the 5 Kims.
Too many Kims.
That's very
too many Kims. Too many Kims.
Kim possible to pronounce all them.
Do we think?
Exactly.
What do we think? Obviously, this is the same Germany team who England beat in the latter stages of the Euros. Do we think they've come along a bit? Do we think they're going to be there or thereabouts, or do we just not think they're there yet? I think they need a striker. They're missing a striker, definitely. Yeah, I think they're missing a striker, definitely. And I'm not sure what. I don't think they're going to be there or thereabouts. They're yeah, I think they're going to have issues. I don't think I can't see where the goals are going to come from Germany. Yeah, let us know what you think in chat. But I don't think Germany are going to go very far in this tournament. Next we have Spain 7-0 versus Costa Rica. Massive result for Spain. Yeah, what do we think in chat? 7-0. They smashed it. Probably the best performance of the tournament so far. I think them and England have been the standout teams. And what result for the Spanish? 7-0. Yeah, very creative. I did when I first saw the team. I wondered because they had Asensio at top as a false 9. I was similar to Germany. I was wondering where the goals were going to come from. But yeah, I was wrong. 7-0. Yeah, what do you think, Spencer? 7-0 to Spain.
Bloody cracking result, especially considering Spain haven't really got an out and out striker, to be honest, have they? So goals. It was a little bit easy. Costa Rica did just turn up and just stand there, but it was pretty much a training game for Spain. But still, any time anyone can score 7 goals in a World Cup game, that's always good.
Yeah, I think Brazil. I think from the first round, Brazil, England, and Spain have been the most the best teams in the first round. I think they've
definitely.
shown all turned up, and I think they've been the best three.
Spain were beautiful football.
Yeah.
That was Enrique was right saying that we were going to see a proper Spanish team this time. He lived up to that bold claim.
Yeah.
Although a midfielder in Gavi wearing a number 9 is questionable to me. It's a bit weird seeing that number on him.
That is odd.
Just wrong.
Yeah, that is odd. And next we had Belgium 1-0 win over Canada. Yeah, I think this was a long game to watch, but Belgium got it done. I don't think
the result we expected, but not deserved by how the game was going.
Yeah, I think Canada definitely deserved something from it. Penny Afonso Davies had a really good game.
Except for when he had to go 1-on-1 against Courtois.
Yeah, except for that bit. But yeah, what do we think on that game? Do we think Belgium are going to be there or thereabouts, or do we think the team's getting on a bit?
Yeah, I think they are getting on a bit. I think they have got one of the older squads in the tournament, and so I do just think that golden era that Belgium had is just about ended. Hazard's on his way out.
I very much had the last World Cup, and the World Cup before that was really when this Belgian manager should have gone far and at least to a final, and just didn't.
Yeah, definitely. They did have such a good team, and they did. Another team with a great team is Portugal, and they won 3-2 over Ghana, but very lucky result. Ghana played very well.
Ghana were very good in the game. That pen was questionable in certain aspects that they got, but Ronaldo gets a record for himself as scoring in 5 different World
Cups,
which is big for him, and he does his iconic Sue celebration,
and somehow gets man of the match over Bruno.
And then Ghana deservingly goes 1-1 after that to reset the game, and then Bruno becomes the first stint at United, and gets 2 assists out and did 2 good passes.
Yeah, but how Bruno didn't get man of the match is a joke.
Because he was but then if you look at it, fans are voting for these man of the matches for Budweiser. Which means that Ronaldo would win it for just touching the ball.
But also talking of Ronaldo, did you guys see his reaction right at the end when Ghana almost equalised?
And your man did his celebration after scoring that second.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the Ghana guy doing his celebration, and then right at the end, Ronaldo's socked face when he thought Ghana were going to equalise.
I saw someone remade the I'm going to Piers Morgan gift, and it was I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
That's probably where he is going. Get all them dollar bills.
Yes, so Portugal 3-2 win there, and Brazil 2-0 win against Serbia. Great goal. The second goal was great. Tapping for the first one, but a great goal for the second goal by Richarlison. And great result by
keeps
Brazil.
The record that a lot of the games are 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah,
I think it's like 9 of them have been 0-0 at halftime, or 10 now. I think after the game this morning. But great performance from Brazil. They deserved it. Richarlison, oh my god, I was commentating and I lost my mind when he scored that goal.
Like the first goal tapping, but that second goal was just.
Yeah, that second goal was just beautiful. Best goal of the tournament so far.
That was a proper Brazil goal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and Neymar did do about 5 rolls at one point when he got pushed over.
Of course, that's mandatory, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
some of the passing from Casemiro, brilliant.
He had a really some great passing.
And Baylor with your West Ham boy, Paqueta.
Yeah, Paqueta. Yeah, he had. Yeah. We were just saying before we started, he had a decent game. Didn't do anything too amazing. Didn't do anything wrong. But it's just always nice seeing a West Ham player actually be in a Brazil team, I'm sure he's going to get better as the tournament goes on, and then that'll kick him on for the season with us.
Very
Yeah.
experienced back line for them. Brazil,
Definitely.
Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Alexandro.
Yeah. Alexandro Danilo. Yeah, what a back line. They're gonna be tough to beat. They've got to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, definitely. I actually completely forgot that Serbia goalkeeper used to play for us, but he never played because he couldn't get a work permit.
Oh, that's a proper effort. That's a proper FM mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, so
The,
Alex Ferguson
the
signed
Fulham
him.
man couldn't do it. They tried to get the Fulham man into the game, Serbia, but just couldn't.
No, I don't think. No, I think I looked at Mitrovic's heat map after the game, and he was barely in the attacking box. He didn't get. He didn't have any shots. Didn't have anything. They didn't get the service through to him, unfortunately.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
not even the Juventus man off the bench could do anything in Vlahovic.
Nah.
Yeah. We move on anyway. Over to Spencer. Did you want to brush over the last remaining games and their 0-0s coming out of everywhere?
Yep. Yes. Let me bring them up on my screen because there's been a few boring games. Denmark, Tunisia. I unfortunately had to commentate on that one. How on earth I managed that?
How on earth Denmark did not score in that Cornelius chance? That Cornelius chance was just like, man.
Yeah, that was but Denmark should have won that. Mexico, Poland. To be honest, I didn't see that, but
it was a penalty save from a penalty for Lewandowski. Still hasn't got a goal. Still hasn't got a goal in the World Cup for Lewandowski.
Wow,
no,
that's mad.
Yes. Yes, and then after that we got Morocco against Croatia. Croatia, another one who's had their time, who's had their golden era, and. Yeah, so they're on the way out. Switzerland 1, Cameroon 0. I watched that one. Well, half.
And the person that scored was a person born in Cameroon, so he didn't celebrate.
Yeah, I did notice that. That was a good touch. Yeah. And then just last up, Uruguay 0, South Korea 0. Son did play and did start, but didn't really do too much. And that was another game that was always going to be 0-0.
Was decent in that. Valverde with a rocket of a shot that would have been a wonder goal, but like
I commentated on that one as well, and again apart from that Bentancur shot, there wasn't too much in that game.
Yeah, so that was the games from the first round. You can join us tonight for the England versus USA watch along with me, Boom, and Bullions, and so we will go on to, can Brazil win the World Cup? Obviously they had a great result in the first game, so over to you, Boom. Do you think Brazil are up there within a chance of winning the World Cup?
I think they are, because if you look at I was reading what the commentators from Ireland were saying, and they were saying you could almost argue that their bench could get into the final of the World Cup and meet the first Brazil team against the second Brazil team in the.
Yeah,
what game that'd be.
Exactly.
Their frontline depth is mental. France could need to borrow some forwards from Brazil with all their injury crisis. Great result by them, and I think they'll be there or there. Well, the depth is just insane all across the pitch. There's a bit very experienced backline as we spoke about, but Silva just doesn't seem to be getting any luck coming down at all. He looks solid still. And
they win 2-0, and they don't even use names like Bruno Guimaraes on fire at the.
Yeah,
they don't. Fabinho, who's usually good for Brazil.
Yeah, Anthony coming off the bench. Casemiro had a great game, and
the Real Madrid centre back on the bench was Militao for his.
Didn't even get a look in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ederson, their second choice keeper, stuck on the. They've got a decent team.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll be there or thereabouts. Anything else?
I'd be surprised if they don't get there.
Who are you calling? Brazil? Are you calling Brazil to win it? Boom.
For me at the moment, I would put it Brazil, Spain, and England. As much as I don't want to say that last one, based on what I've seen from the first week.
We'll see.
So I'm hoping Spain or Brazil. Tonight. I'm hoping Spain or Brazil.
Yeah. What about you, Tyler? Do you think they'll go to the final?
I should think. Yeah, well, after that performance, I would be surprised if they didn't. But I did one of those online tournament predictor things before the first game, and I had Argentina Portugal in the final, which would be tasty. But I don't know. I still think Argentina will do well. They'll turn it around. They'll turn it around, but after watching that Brazil performance, they were just untouchable against Serbia. Anybody could have played against them, I think, the other night, and they would have, and they wouldn't have got close to them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't understand with the Argentina squad though. It was like, why would you play Otamendi over Martinez, who's like one of the best centre backs in the Premier League this year, instead of an aging Otamendi who's playing for where's he playing? Benfica.
He used to be playing Otamendi all the time, but then in the recent friendlies before this, he was not playing Otamendi and playing Romero and Martinez, thinking he was going to do something different, and that was working. But then suddenly, when the first game kicked off, he switched back to his old favorites.
It's a very odd decision.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be doing that again.
Yeah, and
and questionable midfield that there's a lot of people that are not doing too. Di Maria in that Argentina game was just.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Terrible.
He didn't get into it.
Yeah,
they should. They should have taken Lanzini.
Anything else to add on Brazil?
And no, I think we're just good. They can get to the final very easily. It's theirs to lose with their squad.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the squad, they've got the depth all across the pitch. I'd definitely be surprised if they're not there or thereabouts. Yes. So we will move on to our next subject. We've got two subjects covering United today, and Ronaldo's United's contract termination is the small subject. Who would have thought that? So United terminating Ronaldo's contract after that interview with Piers Morgan. I'm sure you've all seen the interview, attacking the owners, attacking the club, attacking the manager, attacking ex-players.
Yep.
A disgraceful interview. But he's got what he wants. We've terminated his contract. Looks like he's going to Saudi Arabia. We've covered it a little bit before, but boom, what do you think?
It was the expected outcome, him leaving. On the thing, the question marks whether if he wanted to pay out for the thing, but apparently they both wanted to just put a line in the sand and just walk away, so they mutually did without really a payoff.
Yeah.
Which works for both. It doesn't sully relationships from either side.
Yeah, United was we're going to take him to court apparently
but apparently we didn't really want to, because then we would have ruined our relationship with his agent.
Yeah.
Which we expect to do business eventually later on with him for other clients.
Definitely. So I'm glad they agreed to just a termination. And where else do we think he could go? Mostly the favourites. There's a lot of links to Saudi Arabia at the moment. They want him
Something
to be
have.
the. They want him to be. They want him to be the face of a bid for the 2030 World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So
some links to MLS, but he said before he doesn't really want the MLS at this point in his career just yet.
Yeah, is MLS any worse? Saudi Arabia level is probably worse than MLS though.
That's why he
Yeah,
turned
I
him down.
imagine
That's
so.
why he turned him down in the summer, because we got an offer
Yeah.
from Saudi Arabia, and Ronaldo said no.
Yeah, he's going to be well over £1 million a week. He is going to be.
So remains to be seen who wants him, because he has to use this World Cup now as the shopping window. Look, I'm still CR7. Buy me.
I did hear rumours of Real Madrid, because obviously Benzema's in injury. They might get a striker in to cover Benzema, but I can't see that.
I did.
happening.
But based on that
No, I
first
can't
game against
see it.
Ghana, he didn't really put himself in the shop window in that one.
Yeah.
He scored a pen, but like some of the chances that he missed before that, criminal. For the old Ronaldo would have buried that.
I also saw rumours of
definitely.
Newcastle.
Nah.
Yeah, but the thing is, he wants to be that guy and like the champ. His main dream is the Champions League. That he wants to be in a team with that. But the question is, do any of the teams left in the Champions League want Ronaldo? That's the big question.
Yeah, I was kind of
can't imagine so.
I was kind of hoping he'd swim back to Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, but with the fact of them going into the Europa League, it's kind of
Yeah,
not going to happen.
maybe later in his career, in a few years, he'll go back there. Yeah, I always thought he'd end his career in back at Sporting for some reason. Yeah, anything else to add on the actual interview? What came out in the full interview release?
I don't know. Me and King pretty much covered that when we didn't know the full interview.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, so yeah, Ronaldo's contract terminated. We will move on to Manchester United being put up for sale by the Glazer family. We've wanted this for a long time. A lot of people saying it's about the Ronaldo interview. It's not. We've been in talks with
reports is that it was going on in the background for like a few months before this. They just didn't make it public. I think they've made it public because of the whole backlash with the Ronaldo thing, just to keep the story to something else. But I think it. Yeah.
I think they made it. I think they made it public because they didn't want to lose a bidder to Liverpool. If you read the reports, it's we're swimming in the same pool for potential buyers as Liverpool.
But I think it's like the timing of. I think they were going to release it maybe a day or two later, but the timing of it is coincidental with the thing. I think they released it slightly a bit. The story released a bit early through Sky because of this whole. To keep away, because Ronaldo just got terminated. Everyone's talking about that. Then, bam, sale takes over.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everything's about timing in the world of football.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of parties coming out saying they're interested. A few rejections that have come out saying it's not happening. So we've had obviously the obvious ones are Sergeant Radcliffe. He's been interested for a while. He's going to be putting an offer to the table. Obviously, he put an offer late.
Don't think he has enough money for it.
Chelsea. Yeah, I think he need another backer with him. He's the richest man in the UK. But I think he need someone to back his bid. Rumors David Beckham getting involved in a consortium. That would be interesting.
Then we had. I know it's been knocked down by a reporter in reports on Apple, but there was that Apple story that came out, which was funny at the time. I did enjoy the jokes of McTominay. We're going to get the eye Trafford.
I United.
Yeah, I enjoyed the jokes. It was funny.
Change the kits to bloody all white and extra large.
Yep. Yeah, that was an interesting one. And then the controversial reports. But I was speaking to Spencer before we started, and the size of our club and what we evaluated, and it's valuated anywhere between 5 and even 10 billion. Compared to where you read the reports, and there's going to be a bidding war. So I think anyone who has that amount of money would be a questionable in some way how they made that much money.
Sadly, with the way football has gone, you're only going to get owners that are questionable at this point, because to compete for trophies at this point, you're going to need an owner with a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I think it will be the Qatar the investment fund from Abu Dhabi Investment Fund. Obviously, you've got Qatar, Saudi Arabia.
You have the Saudi government saying that they'll allow a bid.
Yeah, apparently they want both. They want Liverpool and United, and they've already got Newcastle.
Just bloody rename the Premier League to Saudi League.
Yeah, so that'd be interesting. Yeah, I think it would be Middle Eastern investment or potentially an American investment fund, but I don't think that will have enough. I was watching the thing with Mark Goldbridge this morning, and he was talking about United probably being overpriced and Liverpool being underpriced, and that has positives and negatives. Obviously, negatives. Buyers might go for Liverpool instead, but a positive to that, you might any buyers who see us as a bargain won't go in for us because they haven't got the money. So you only get the top end owners who can actually
because if you look at it like what Mark Goldbridge said, and I agree with it, you need an owner that can buy the club for that amount of money, can clear the debt, and actually invest in, have money left over to actually upgrade Old Trafford, which is falling apart, and the training ground, which is well behind most teams.
I'd say
standard.
I'd say 5 billion to get the club off of the Glazers, plus 500 mil to clear the debt, plus another 2 billion probably over the next 10 years for stadium development, training ground development, squad development, just modernising the club, basically. So I think, you're looking at 7.5, 8 million in total over the next 10 years, I think. So it's a lot. Yeah, so it's a lot of money, and that's why everyone got so excited about the Apple, because you haven't got those questionable stuff about Middle Eastern stuff. You haven't got that questionable side to it. They've got the money. They're worth, I think they're in the trillions, 2.5 trillion pound that they're valued at, Apple. So it'd be mental. But apparently some Premier League clubs have already said to about complained that to make it not go through if that's the case. Which is ironic. The Saudis and the owners at City complaining that we've got too much money. But yeah, what's your thoughts on all of that, Boom?
No, it's just the way it's going to go. We're going to need someone rich, so it's going to be someone questionable. I will continue, unlike some fans who say that they will completely disown United if we get owned by some. I will still support the team I grew up watching.
Same.
It's not my business who gets the ownership eventually.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me. I did not make the decision. That is up to the Glazers and whoever sanctions it.
Yeah, I think the perfect scenario would be if he could find a backer, like a backer to make his bid higher. I think Jim Radcliffe was the one all the fans want. He's Manchester born and bred. He's a Manchester United fan.
that would be the ideal world, but like when you come out with the figures the Glazers want, it's just prices.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna
completely
have to
out,
have. He's gonna have to have backing from some. Maybe you have a back. Maybe you have him and then a Saudi backing him potentially as well. Like similar.
he could if he could convince his entire company Ineos to get involved in it, he might have a chance.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it would be him who buy it. I think it'd be Ineos.
But Ineos, but most of the rest of Ineos didn't really want to get involved in football teams to begin with, so you'd have to convince the rest of Ineos, to be on board.
Yeah, I agree. But they're, maybe, as I say, maybe you get someone like similar to the Newcastle bid. Obviously, you have the Saudis running Newcastle, but it's headed up by I can't remember the lady's name, and then the Reuben brothers as well, who's like one of the two rich men in the UK. So maybe you have him as like the head man, like the Reuben brothers for Newcastle, and then you have some Saudis or Qatar investment fund, something like that in the background supporting him, so he's got the money he needs. That's an idea. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it'll be good for you guys to get rid of the Glazers and hopefully help Man U compete again, which will be good because as much fun as I've had with Man U being rubbish, it has gone on too long. It has gone on too long, and it would be good for Man U to be decent once more and to just be able to crack on and just build themselves up into the club they should be once more. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm. Where's your stand before we move on? Obviously, a lot. Whoever takes us over is going to have to do work on the stadium and the development of the training ground. It's an old state. This is a topic that United fans have debated for years. So work's going to have to be done on the stadium. Where are you on building it if Old Trafford being knocked down and rebuilt? Obviously, it's falling apart, but it is one of the most iconic stadiums in the world. Similar to San Siro that's going at in Italy. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? On losing a potential massive stadium in the world? Boom.
Yeah,
I'm not totally against it. Like at a certain point, you gotta look at it. Is it sustainable to invest a lot of money into fixing the problem, or is it more profitable to build a new yoke and put it instead? Because sometimes you gotta weigh pros and cons of refurbishing a place or just replacing it. And I've been to Old Trafford. I went to see it, so it's not like I've missed out on that. So I think at some point we will have to make a new stadium eventually.
Yeah, I agree. I love Old Trafford, but it is falling apart. It leaks. I think it would cost more money to redevelop it than
we don't even have screens.
Just to knock down and build a new stadium.
Compared to most stadiums, we don't even have the VAR screen that pops up for the fans.
And that's another thing I liked about the Apple plan. They wanted to build, obviously, they're up in with technology and all that, so they wanted to build like the reports I saw that like the most modern stadium in the world, which I know used to be the Amex at Brighton in England, but I don't think that's. I think it's Spurs now. But
yeah, I think so.
I think we're one of the only teams to not have the big screen that shows VAR decision happening.
I thought of a good idea as well. Like obviously with the iPads, you could have iPads on each seat, and every time it goes to a VAR decision, the VAR decision comes up on the iPad on the chair. That'd be cool.
I mean, the stewards will kick you out if they see you've tweeted from an Android phone in the ground. It'll ping what seat you're on, and they'll just come over, get out.
So yeah. Anyway, who do we let in the comments know what you think about the subjects we spoke about today? It's only a short podcast today. We will be live tonight for the Watch Along for England versus USA. Yes. By the way, applications have closed for the competition for the print from FM Hub. So at the end of the season, we will see who is top goal scorer and then do the draw. Obvious names at the moment coming up is Mbappe, Kane, Messi. These are the people most mentioned at the moment. So we will see who is the top goal scorer at the end of the World Cup, and the winner will get a print from the FM Hub. And we will see you tonight, guys. And
before we go, for those that care stuff at the moment, unsurprisingly, Senegal are winning 1-0 against Qatar.
Yep,
it's a mistake. It's a mistake at the back from Qatar.
Well, who would have guessed?
Shocking.
Who would have guessed? So anyway, Crazy Boom, where can we find you?
On YouTube as Boompool, and on Twitch as Crazy Boom _, and on Twitter with that same.
Yep. And what about you, Tyler?
Yep. Twitter. I am Taylor M Gaming on Twitter, and on YouTube, I'm doing some bits at some point as Taylor Made Gaming.
Yep. And you can find me, johnlo.tv, everywhere. RTL Football Podcast and Road to Legends, which we will be back next week announcing our new team tomorrow. So, thanks for watching, and we will see you tonight, guys.